Hello everyone, I am Sinister Sheep and welcome to a tier list video. I know, again, I promise I'll make more content, but as of right now I'm working on stuff for Black Hudson Productions, which you should subscribe to because I am the co-founder of that. I have two podcasts there. We Didn't Ask for This with me and Markeith, where we just shoot the shit. Anime on the Rocks with me and Peter, we drink and we talk about anime. Then I have another channel that I'm working on called Jack Reads Books, where I just go over book reviews, manga reviews, comic book reviews, the works. So yeah, if you're interested in any of that, make sure to subscribe to those channels. And without further ado, let's just get into the video. 12 Angry Men, 1956, very, very good. Great cinematography, great acting. This was first a stage play, and then they made it into a film. The actors do a fantastic job with the material. Basically, it's about this boy who is in court, and apparently he killed, I believe it's his father. And these 12 men, jurymen, have to decide whether he's innocent or guilty. And yeah, overall, it's a great film. If you're want to study film and stuff like that, this is great to study dialogue and camera movements because the whole thing takes place pretty much in one room and how to make those angles interesting and stuff like that. So, yeah, no, it's a S tier. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Then we have the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Maybe I should discuss what the video is about. This video is a half-year review of all the movies I watched this year. Doesn't matter if I've already watched them already. Doesn't matter if they're old. Doesn't matter if they're new. This is just all of them basically compiled into one thing. So, yeah. Lord of the Rings is going to go up. I watched this with my mom. We had like a 3-day spree with each movie we watched out of the trilogy on each day. And yeah, I made her watch the theatricals because I wasn't going to make her watch the extended editions. But if you want like a tight trilogy, this is definitely it. Like, The Lord of the Rings is one of the greatest movie trilogies of all time. Just greatest trilogies of all time, really. Great stories of all time. And yes, I'm ranking all three of them because they tell one consecutive story. But yeah, Lord of the Rings. Awesome, amazing. Definitely check it out. Then we have Batman 1989. You know, I had a lot of nostalgia for this movie, and I watched it in preparation for The Batman, which we'll get into. And Michael Keaton's a great Bruce Wayne. He's a good Batman, but this movie's pretty cheesy. It's definitely aged not so well. Jack Nicholson's performance as a Joker is still very, very good. Um, yeah, it's just aged really, which, you know, uh, is, just looking back on the movie is like, oh, that's a little corny. That's a little corny, but yeah, overall, it's still one of the best Batman movies. So I would put it heavily in A tier. Then we have The Batman with Robert Pattinson. This is the newest one. This movie is great. It's the best Batman movie. The Dark Knight is a great Batman story, but also a great film, and I see it more as a great film than like a comic book movie. Whereas the Batman is like the most accurate comic book Batman I've ever seen put on screen. Um, Everyone's performances is great in it. Yeah, I really like this movie. And yeah, I like it more than Batman '89. I'll be honest. The runtime, I did not feel the runtime at all, and this is like a 3-hour movie, so that's how good it is. Then we have the Lego Batman movie, which captures Batman perfectly, like the stereotypes, the tropes, the characters, and stuff like that. Will Arnett's Batman is sarcastic and like, so prideful and stuff like that. It's just a funny parody version of Batman and captures the Batman's character really, really well. Yeah, I would put that right there. I'm a big Batman fan, as you can tell. Then we have The Tinder Swindler, which is a Netflix documentary about basically a group of 3 women get scammed by this dude who, they meet for the first time. He seems to be well off, very rich. Then he leaves, and he lies to them and says, "Oh, I'm part of this diamond family industry. My credit cards don't work. I need you to send me money." So then these women just keep sending him money, thinking that he's in love with them, but really he's just taking advantage of them. It's a pretty well done documentary, pretty enjoyable. So yeah, check it out. Then Perfect Blue. Ooh, yeah. Perfect Blue is one of my favorite movies of all time. It might, in fact, be my favorite movie of all time. Now thinking about it, I've seen it about 4 times, and each time I come out with something different from it. It's just a perfect movie. Um, well animated, well directed. If you've seen any Christopher Nolan movie, he takes heavy inspiration on anime. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And this one, he kind of takes a lot from Inception. Um, or yeah, and Black Swan is like basically a ripoff of this movie. But yeah, Perfect Blue is awesome. I don't even want to go into the plot too much because you should just do a blind viewing of it. Do the Japanese dub, so go subbed. Don't do the English dub; it's not very good. But the Japanese sub is very very good. Yeah, no, it's a fantastic movie. It's one of the best I've ever seen in my life. I have it on Blu-ray. It looks beautiful in 4K. Yeah, no, it's great. Again, I'm not going to say the plot. Go into it blind. Trust me. Then we have Aladdin. I believe this is 1999. The original, not the one with Will Smith. Yeah, it's a very good Disney movie. You know, classic music numbers and stuff like that. A couple questionable representations of different cultures and stuff like that. But overall, still very enjoyable. It's a classic, you know. Yeah. Then we have How to Train Your Dragon, which is probably the best DreamWorks, or I mean Shrek, one of the best DreamWorks series. How to Train Your Dragon is a lot of fun. Great cast, great world building and stuff like that. It's overall fun child fantasy and stuff like that. And it's pretty good. I would say I enjoy it more than Aladdin. That might be blasphemy. I don't know. Sue me, I guess. Then I watched The Princess Diaries with my girlfriend. I believe one is down here. You know what? Why might as well just loop them in together. So The Princess Diaries, it's cheesy Disney Channel original movie type quality. You know, it's fun. You know, it's yeah. Um, Pretty goofy and stuff like that. My girlfriend and a lot of Princess Diary fans think that 2 is better. I think not, but it's pretty fun. You know, I did it back to back with these, so yeah. I don't really feel like I have much more to say on them, but yeah, I mean it's fun watching them with my girlfriend and stuff. Then we have Class Action Park, which is about Action Park, a amusement park in the 80s. And my God, me and Marquis did a podcast on that. Be sure to check that out when it comes out. Yeah, no, this is crazy. Like my parents went to Action Park, and like Marquis' parents went to Action Park, and like, imagine. I'll pitch it to you real quick. This is a documentary about the park, but I'll pitch Action Park to you real quick. Imagine if Tony Soprano owns an amusement park in. Imagine the worst state in America. Do you have it in your head? No, it's not Florida. It's fucking New Jersey. Okay, home of some of the worst people, especially in the 80s of all time, in an amusement park, unsupervised and stuff. There's crazy stories in there. HBO Max documentary. Definitely check it out. I would put this in like an A tier. It's very very good. You know. Yeah. I've seen it a couple times. Yeah. Then we have Our Father, which this is very disturbing. Trigger warning, like SA stuff. Okay, so like, skip around the video till you see that I'm not covering this. See, my mouse is moving around here. Okay, once it's not moving around there, then you're in the safe zone. So this doctor back in the 50s, if couples couldn't make a baby, maybe something was wrong with this, with the woman's egg. You know, doctors would surgically inject the male's sperm into an ovary, and then that's how the baby was born. I'm trying to make that as not gross as possible, just trying to make it medical as possible. But this guy, it's not funny, it's really disgusting. But instead of using the partner's sperm, he used his own sperm. And he has like 100 kids because of this, like in the 50s, like because they all locked into like ancestry.com, like the children and stuff, and realized that what they thought was their dad was not actually their dad. It was this doctor, this asshole of a doctor. Yeah, it's if you want to feel grossed out, by humanity. This is definitely a Netflix documentary you should watch. It's very crazy where it goes and stuff like that. So if you're okay with that subject material, then definitely check it out. Yeah. So Nobody. I felt like this was kind of a rip-off-ish of John Wick. It was still pretty good. It's like a dad movie. You know what I mean? It's like something your dad puts on TNT while there's like a Christmas party or something going on. Like when the whole family's there and like he just wants to put something on TV. This is the movie he's gonna put on. Some cool action scenes here and there, but yeah, overall, it's just it's whatever. Then my first One Piece movie that I've ever watched, Strong World. This was very fun. I've never watched a One Piece film before, and this one I would consider a very fun and enjoyable movie. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like how like One Piece, like technically this is a canonical, but it could be canonical because like One Piece, is all about just island hopping, pretty much. So I could see this fitting in somewhere in the timeline, but whatever. Yeah, One Piece. Uh, yeah. Then we have Woodstock '99, which, for those of you who don't know, there was, there's the original Woodstock that everyone knows back in the '60s. Um, and then there was a Woodstock '99, and this was a complete disaster. Um, Unorganized, just one of the worst, people getting trampled on and stuff like that. Like, definitely check out this documentary on HBO Max. It's definitely worth your time. Then I watched Prisoners, directed by Danny Devil. I believe this is his second feature length um, movie, if I'm not mistaken. For those of you who don't know, Danny Deville directed Blade Runner 2049 and the new Dune movies. And he's a great director. This movie is fantastic, very suspenseful, always has you on your toes. It's definitely an S tier. It's great. It's fantastic. You should definitely watch it if you want to learn how to like create suspense. This is great. Hugh Jackman, great, great, great performance. Same with Jake Gyllenhaal, great performance here. Should have won Oscars. Should have even been nominated, but I don't believe was. But yeah, and then we have The House, which is like three short stop motion horror films. Well, technically it's only two. The last one was not scary in the slightest and not even horror based at all. But basically, they always take place in a house, and that house, is usually haunted or has a mind of its own kind of thing. And yeah, no, the first short was really, really well done. I liked that one a lot. The second one was okay, more funny than it was scary. And the third one was just meh. But I mean, if this opens the door to like more horror stop motion stuff on streaming platforms, then I'm all for it. And I will support it. But yeah. Then we have Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda, it's fun. It's Jack Black. Some humor hits, misses. Kung Fu Panda's pretty fun though. It's a fun movie. We have Deathstroke, Knights and Dragons. I think this is the word. I hated this animated film. It's like rated R because there's blood and gore and stuff, but like the actual plot is not mature at all, and it's like a edgy 14-year-old wrote it. Yeah, no, it's dumb. Don't even waste your time on it. Then I watched the George Carlin documentary, split into two parts, each of them like 2 hours long. So basically, it's like a 4-hour documentary about George Carlin. If you've never heard of George Carlin, definitely watch this. You will understand the significance of what he did for stand-up comedy, and how much he rebelled against the status quo, and how all of us pretty much wish he was still alive so he could talk about these subjects because people genuinely valued his opinion, and his opinion was always mostly right. Pretty much always right, yeah. And if you are a George Carlin fan, definitely check this out on HBO Max. It's a really, really good. Then we have Death to 2021, which is a sequel to Death to 2020, which is a Netflix mockumentary kind of thing. This one was not as funny as the first one. It basically does a whole year recap, but makes like a parody out of it. Yeah, I don't really like this one that much, I'll be honest. Yeah, so. Let Me In, which is Matt Reeves, I believe, first or second feature length film he ever that was ever released theatrically, which he directed the Batman. It's an interesting spin on the vampire story. It's about a young girl who's a vampire who needs to feed, but doesn't necessarily want to kill, and she befriends a young boy. It's very good, very well acted for kid actors, surprisingly. But yeah, so check that out if you want to watch something that's kind of unique to the vampire genre. Then we have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This is a Marvel movie. Sorry, I'm messing with my headphones a lot. Yeah, this is your average male Marvel movie. It's directed by Sam Raimi, and he's able to put his Sam Raimi spin on a couple scenes and stuff like that. But overall, it's just a Marvel movie. It's a Doctor Strange movie. Yeah, I mean, it was fine. You know, I don't have anything bad to say about it, but yeah. Uh, yeah. Maybe let's switch that. Okay. Yeah, that looks fine. Uh, White Hot, which is an Abercrombie and Finch documentary. Yeah, Abercrombie and Finch used to primarily target white audiences with their merchandise, with their product, and yeah, they were pieces of shit. But I feel like everyone already kind of knew that. It's just interesting to see where they were and where they are now, where they're so inclusive and stuff like that, because the CEO got swapped out or whatever. I mean, if you have nothing else to watch, watch it, I guess. Yeah, sure. Then we have The French Dispatch, which is a Wes Anderson movie. And if you like Wes Anderson, you've probably already watched the movie. It's great. Yeah, great cinematography, great script, and everything. I didn't really like the Timothy Chalamet story, but it was still good overall as a movie. Wes Anderson is Wes Anderson, and yeah, if you like him, you like him. If you don't, you're not gonna like it. So, what's there more to say? When We Were Bullies, I do not like this documentary at all, and you should not support it. It's about this guy who reminisce about in the first grade he used to, along with his other classmates, bully this kid, right? And then basically like he made this documentary and he reached out to the guy. He says this in the documentary. He reached out to the guy that he bullied back in first grade. And he's like, "Hey, I'm making this film about you. Is that okay?" Halfway through the process of already making the film, and then the guy just doesn't respond when he sends him clips and stuff like that. And then he decides to make the documentary anyways. He interviews the people in first grade that bullied this poor kid. And then at the end of the movie, his theme is like, you know what? I didn't make this documentary for you, bullied kid. I made it for us so we can reminisce about how he bullied you. Now you could watch that and you get a different interpretation, but that's the interpretation that I got from it, and it's just gross. Like, no, it's like he said no. Like, why did you even make the documentary? Like, genuinely, for anyone who's actually been bullied, you'll probably be mad at this, like I am. And for those of you who were the bullies, this is like a way for you to coddle your feelings or whatever. But fuck you. So yeah, yeah, fucking awful, 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 awful. I hate it. Reminiscing with the Ricardos, I think this is the I Love Lucy film. It was fine, I guess. Well acted and everything. It's basic Oscar bait though. Nothing really unique about it. So yeah. The Ultimatum, which is a documentary series that I watched with my girlfriend. But I put this here to make a point. Okay, we gotta stop, guys. This is for my male audience. Okay, we gotta stop pretending like we don't like these reality TV shows, because this show is juicy. Number one, because they actually allow the people to get drunk, which I think is fantastic. It just make it the trashiest thing, and this is trash at its fullest, but it's great. It's fantastic to look at all the drama and all the people slurring and stuff like that, like while they're drinking, and it's It's grade A quality. Enjoy this with your girlfriend. Don't enjoy it with your girlfriend. Watch it by yourself. You know, let's come on. Let's stop this stigma. It's entertainment. It's so fucking entertaining. So yeah. You know what? I liked it more than the Multiverse of Madness. Yes. Um, all right, then we have the Harry Potter 20th anniversary thing. It was interesting to see the cast and crew where they are now, and the directors talk about like what it was like making the movies and stuff. Fuck J.K. Rowling, obviously, and you know when she is on screen, they make sure to make it apparent like this was filmed on like a press tour, and we didn't actually film brand new footage of her. But yeah. So if you're a Harry Potter fan, you've already checked it out. I'll put that like mm, fine. Yeah. Memories of Murder, which is Ba- Ooh, let me look this up. I want to look at this up. I think it's Bong Joon Ho. He directed Parasite. Let me see. Memories. I know this is really interesting right now. Memories of whoops murder. I believe it's Bong Joon Ho. Yep, Bong Joon Ho. Um, great. This is like an S tier. Uh, yeah, I liked it better than French Dispatch. Um, Came out in 2003. South Korean film. It's like about like the first major like murder case in I believe it's South Korea. Um, and like basically how like the police all they would do for most of the times if there was a murder scene is they would pick a random suspect and just like torture them until they like even if they didn't do the crime they would just like force them to admit that like they did it. But like in this case, like they actually had to like think about what they were doing and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a great suspenseful, and it goes over the morality of like police and detective work and stuff like that, and like um, you know, like how the human mind could like determine what to do with another human's life. You know what I mean? Like whether to put them in jail or like whether that's even like good or not. That was a really dumb way of explaining it. Look up video essays about it and make a make a determination for yourself. But definitely watch this. It's great. Beanie Mania, which is about the Beanie Babies, and how basically they were like this really hot things for kids, and then the adults took over because they started making rare items for the Beanie Babies. So instead of seeing these things as cute plushy toys, parents and adults saw this as something to make profit off of. And it just goes on about the crash of the Beanie Baby market and like how people got screwed over and like, it's enjoyable. I like it quite a bit. Um, and then we have Inside Out, which is a Pixar, I believe, Pixar film. Disney. This is very good, very fun concept. What if there were different personalities for each emotions and like going through puberty and stuff like that. And yeah, no, it's a very good movie. Very heartfelt. And yeah, I would put this like right here. Yes, I did enjoy the One Piece movie more. No, we cannot debate about it. Uh, then Coco. Coco is so fucking good. Oh my god, holy shit. Coco is the shit. Coco is awesome. Okay, like what's the new movie Disney movie that came? Encanto, I think. Yeah, that one's pretty good as well. But Coco beats it out of the park. Coco is so fucking good, man. Like the music's catchy, the story's great, very very emotional. If you want to cry, this is definitely a movie for you. But yeah, Coco's awesome. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. Uh, then we have Moonshot, which was so bad. It was really bad. Uh, it's It's got the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody actor or whatever, and he like is chasing after the like. It's in a future where like you're able to go to the moon and live there. So he wants to go to the moon, and he hitches a ride from this girl, and then they fall in love. Yeah, it's dumb. West Side Story. Now, the main actor unfortunately has a bunch of SA stuff, allegations going about him. I don't know if they're true or not. All I know is that they're. But I will not. I will try to put that aside and just talk about the movie. And Steven Spielberg knocked it out of the park once again. This is a great movie. It's like one of those movies that like feels classic. It feels like a classic movie, which a lot of movies now don't. And like the representation is great in it. The music and choreograph is great. The acting's very good. And yeah, it's genuinely a fun and great movie. Just a little long, a little long. That's what I'll say. Then I have Love Hard, which I watched with my girlfriend. It was pretty entertaining, honestly. Um, I'll put this like yeah. Um, yeah, no, it was pretty entertaining. Um, it's got some vulgar humor, and me, I love me some vulgar humor, and yeah, it's a Christmas ish. I think it's Christmas. Yeah, it's kind like Christmas takes place in the movie. Um, but yeah, no, it's a rom com, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I watched it with my girlfriend, and honestly, I had a good time with it. So yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once is fan. Let's not actually. It's too recent. Maybe later on I'll put it above Prisoners, but I've only seen it once. I'll eventually see it again. I think it's out on Blu-ray. I want to buy that Blu-ray then. But yeah, no, Everywhere All at Once. If you haven't seen it already, it's fantastic. The best multiverse movie of all time. And it's just overall fun. It's got great humor, great cinematography, great editing. Oh my god, like I cannot even imagine the editing timeline in this movie. Like it must be absolutely insane. And yeah, this is 12 Angry Men. This is like a remake or a modernization of the original movie, with a couple of changes here and there. It's pretty good. I just think the original is so much better because of the camera work um, and the dialogue and the acting and stuff like that. This one primarily has the same dialogue, but it adds a couple things here and there that kind of annoy me. But yeah, I mean, you know, if you're one of those that like, hold on, let me figure out the placement before I keep talking. Yeah. Um, if you're one of those that like, oh, I don't like black and white movies, then and you still want to experience the 12 Angry Men story, then I guess you could choose that one. Even though I think that's a stupid argument, that black and white movies are still good. They're still movies. Like I don't understand. Like, oh, it doesn't have color, I can't watch it. Like that's so dumb. But anyways, yeah, we're almost done. We're nearly there, boys. We're nearly there. Or girls. Who knows? Then we have It Chapter 1, which I just watched randomly. It's a decent horror movie. It relies heavily on jump scares for sure. But yeah, the kids version is definitely better. Part 2 sucks. I don't like part 2 at all. But like part 1's very good. Um, yeah. I don't know. I would put this probably like, yeah, I think that's fair. We're getting very B tier heavy. Let's maybe switch some of these down here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Switch one thing. Yeah. Perfect. Um, Chippendale. This movie sucks. It's very bad. Um, yeah, it's trying to do the Roger Rabbit thing, but it's very annoying with it because like one of the characters is supposed to be 2D, but he's obviously 3D animated. It just misses the mark on every single level, and it's just not funny. It's definitely a kids movie for sure. Whereas Roger Rabbit, like there was stuff for like adult audiences to enjoy as well, but like this is definitely just a kids movie. Then we have Kizo Monogatari. I'm counting all three films as one because it tells one cohesive story. I like this better than actually reading the light novel, which I did kind of like a tier list on that. On like the books I've read over at my other channel, if that's up yet. So make sure to check that out. That's Jack Reed's books. Kizumonogatari is pretty good. Um, Very well animated, and yeah, no, it's genuinely pretty fun. I like it. I like it a lot. Then Mad God, which I watched with my friend Matt, which we did a Star Wars tier list video on Star Wars movies and TV shows, so make sure to check that out. Yeah, this doesn't really have a traditional beat for beat story. It's basically I watched it because I believe it's Phil Turner. He's like the stop motion master. Like he did the stop motion for Jurassic Park and a bunch of other movies and stuff like that. And this film is like a passion project of his that he's done on the sideline for over like 30 years, and it's finally out. Um, and we watched it on Shutter. And the stop motion is great. The creature designs are fantastic. Yeah, overall, this movie's like it's quite an experience. And if you like a straightforward structure of a movie, then this is definitely not for you. But no, Mad God is very very good for like the stop motion fans and stuff like that. So I would put this, yeah, probably top A tier. It was very very good. Then I watched Fallout. I definitely have problems with this movie. So what it's basically about this girl, and there's a school shooting that takes place, and she ends up in a bathroom stall with one of the popular girls trying to hide from the school shooter, and then it's about her and like the popular girl getting along and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. Like the school shooting is just used as a background thing, which is odd, almost like it never even happened. Yeah, no, I just have a problem with the way this movie handles that subject matter. If you want to see a movie that handles that subject matter really, really well, Elephant is definitely a great one. It's called Elephant because it's addressing the elephant in the room. Because the movie came out shortly after Columbine, I believe. And that movie's great. It's boring, but it's boring on purpose. Yeah, like this just didn't cover the subject. It's just very like, and when it does, it's like very obvious with it, and there's no subtlety whatsoever to it. Yeah, no, I wasn't a fan. Wall-E is one of Pixar's best movies. It's not the best, but it's one of Pixar's best movies. Yeah, no, it's fantastic. The animation is obviously fantastic. The storytelling, not using a lot of dialogue and stuff like that, is really good and quite unique for the animation genre. Um, yeah, no, Wally's great and great message too. Then we have the best, you cannot debate me, Pixar movie of all time, Ratatouille. Ratatouille is great. Ratatouille's king. Ratatouille is god tier. It's so very good. Um, yeah, no, it's just great story, great voice acting, great animation. It's just oh god, Ratatouille is so good. I could watch that movie over and over again. It's so good. Tangled is also very good. It's definitely better, I feel, in my opinion, than Frozen. Um, yeah, no, it just like subverts regular norms for like the princess story kind of thing. Yeah, no, it's genuinely a ton of fun. I like Tangled. I like Tangled a lot. Then we have Top Gun Maverick. Yes, baby, Top Gun Maverick. This is great. It's made over $1 billion already, and it's not a superhero film. It's a sequel to 80s property, granted, but like, wow, that's not a Marvel film. That's actually quite the achievement. Yeah, I mean it's cheesy. Obviously, it's Top Gun, but like all the stunts and stuff, using actual planes and stuff like that. I mean, it's crazy, crazy good. Um, but yeah, so I would put this probably right around, yeah, yeah, high B tier. That's or you know what? Yeah, fuck it, A tier. Sue me. Uh, then we have the Northman. Oh, the Northman was so good. I'm so You know whose fault it is? This guy right here. This guy, Doctor Strange. That's why people didn't go see the Northman, because it blew out theaters, like multiple showings, whereas Northman only had like 3 showings in a single day. The Northman is great. It's one of the best Viking movies I've ever seen. Robert Eggers knocked it out of the park once again. I'm so sad that this movie didn't make a bunch of money because it should have, because it's genuinely fantastic and you should all see it. Um, yeah, no, I would say, yeah, definitely enjoyed it more than Mad God. Um, yeah, no, fucking, fucking great, fantastic, love it. Yeah, so that's my tier list. I hope I'm not too controversial with any of these. Probably the Marvel fans will get mad that I didn't put Doctor Strange into S tier because Sam Raimi directed it, so that way it's better. It's not like he got a couple unique things in, unique Sam Raimi isms in there, but overall it is just a Marvel movie. Um, yeah, but yeah, overall, I think this is a solid tier list. We're definitely heavy with the A and B's, but that's okay. That's fine. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my other channels, Black Hudson Production and Jack Reads Books. With that being said, that's all for this video. Thank you guys so much. Bye.